one of the most important things to really find a sort of natural and harmonious way to be in the world is it's absolutely necessary that you give the world and every single being in it the freedom. You give them the freedom. You grant them the freedom to be exactly as they are. Everyone in the world gets to be exactly as they are. The world gets to be as it is. In other words, the freedom must be returned to the world, to the whole universe, to everybody in it. Its freedom isn't just something that you have, that's something that you contain in a certain way. It's not just something you feel. When it's much more mature, it's something that is granted back to all of humanity. And sometimes even people that have had an experience of a deep state of clarity, without really being conscious of it, they can get caught within a resistance to people being the way they are. A resistance to that. I don't connect with them in the same way, therefore I'm resisting them. I don't know what to talk to about them, therefore they used to start to feel this resistance. If it gets more obvious, then you'll start to see there can even be a judgment. And of course, judgment is very, very separating. Resistance is separating, and also judgment is extraordinarily separating. So these are the two things that are often easily missed, is just the resistance to people being the way they are. Who says that people should be any other way than the way they are? Who says that you should be interested in them, or they should be interested in you? You see, that's only a mental, conceptual idea. So this may sound sort of simple, but it's so important. It's so transformative when you really have granted the world, granted everyone in it to be as they are. You've given the freedom that you've realized away. You've granted it. You've given it back. You've completed the circle. You've given it back to all beings everywhere. When that, and this is, I'm stating this in a kind of a concrete way. It's not necessarily as concrete as I'm describing it, but you just have to get the spirit of what I'm saying, get the feel of it. When you've actually granted the world and everything and everyone in it to be as they are, you've given the freedom back, you've completed the circle of freedom, then what you tend to feel is a lot more, well, of course you feel acceptance. And when there's acceptance, there's love. There's great love. There's great understanding. Because you've granted the world and everyone in it the freedom to be as it is, because you've granted everyone within your sphere of influence or wherever you may be, the freedom to be as they are, it doesn't mean that you stop being who you are. It doesn't mean that you do or don't do anything. It means that by granting everyone freedom and everything their freedom to be, by returning the favor, by completing the circle of freedom, you feel a great, deep, deep acceptance and a deep, deep love. So this isn't like a, sort of a spiritual fantasy where everybody's going to love you and, understand you and all of that. Part of really being free is finding your own independence. I don't mean separateness. I don't mean finding to become an island unto yourself. But a really, truly free being is a being who has granted the universe and everyone and everything in it to be as it is. Because to do otherwise is literally to resist life as it is, to resist reality. And you will only lose when you resist reality. You will only create conflict when you struggle against what is. I don't mean that you have to agree with what is. I don't mean you have to necessarily go along with what is, necessarily, in the sense of agreeing with something that you don't actually agree with, or condoning something that you don't actually condone. I don't mean that. What I mean is you've given everything the freedom to be as it is, because it is that way. Because anything else is insanity. Anything else is expecting the universe or something or someone in the universe to change for you. And by and large, that just doesn't happen, does it? So when we've granted everyone and everything in the universe, in life, to be as it is, you start to discover a sort of, not an egoic independence, but I don't know the word for it, an authentic independence. An independence where you have let go of asking the world to understand you, to confirm you, to accept you. That you've let go of all those demands, secret demands that we often put upon the world, put upon people in our lives. We've let go of those demands to be understood, to be agreed with, to be liked, to be loved, all of that. We've let go of it. Of course, we let go of it when we see that it's actually a sort of toxic addiction. It's a toxic thing to go around in some covert way expecting the world to agree with you or understand you or love you. It leads to toxic emotional experiences, a toxic life, suffering, in other words. When we see that, when we really perceive that then we start to let go of those wants, those demands. When we see that they don't actually come from the fullness of freedom, they come from some sense of lack, some leftover remnant of lack. So, basically, by granting the world its freedom to be and granting everybody in the world their freedom to be, then you find a deeper state of freedom. And as I said, it opens you to true love, to an unconditioned love, from the love that comes directly from the center of being, the love that is synonymous with being, with existence. It's the love of what is. It's the love of what is the way it is. That's the love that comes from our true nature, our deepest source. That's the wellspring that flows out of pure being into the world of time and space. When there is that love, when there is the experience of that well-being, that contentment that comes with it, then we are truly free. When you come from this place of fullness, you have no expectation that people will be other than they will be, that situations will be other than they will be. And that opens everything up tremendously opens up this avenue for true connectedness, right? True understanding, true for truth, for love.